Hello, humans, and welcome to ATLUS MEGATEN Mondays. Well, it's time to reminisce. This show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello, humans, and welcome to our very first MEGATEN Monday. Now, I want to make this space a space for discussing my experiences with not only MEGATEN games, Persona games, ATLUS games, but a lot of it's going to be around Shin Megami Tensei, and I start off here with Persona 4, just because it's what I'm playing right now. And a lot of times, guys, when I'm feeling troubled in some way, I gravitate towards these games, because they relax me. They calm my nerves, if I'm quite troubled for whatever reason. And these times that we have right now, and I don't know when you're going to be listening to this, but right now we have the virus going around. And I think a lot of people out there are troubled like me because of work, because of, stresses, family, what have you. And I gravitate towards these series, and when I'm stressed out, let's say, as far as, let's say, I'm having a heated discussion with somebody or fighting, whatever, play a shooter, a brawler, something like that. But if it's something deeper, I usually play Persona games. And the interesting thing that I found is, as I'm joining forums and talking to people, I see that there's two different kinds of Shin Megami Tensei fans, if you will, or players, whether it's Persona or the mainline series. I think the common thread is connection. Some people get connected because they love the battle system, they love the strategy. Can't talk. But other people connect with the characters or the storyline, and they run into both camps, right? And it's like 50-50. I've been in discussions where people are just talking about the game and how much they love it, and they're talking about the story or the waifus or who they're developing relationships with in the game or what their favorite story was. And then you have people that are constantly talking about law, chaos, what's neutral, what's best, and have heated debates over that and specific gameplay and tactics. Just as fervent, but it's very, very different. But what joins them both together is that people are connected in some way. And what I've noticed is that a lot of people that are reflective, a lot of people that are deep thinkers in general, dive really deep into the series, and they enjoy, whether they're doing it for emotional reasons or want to think the psychology behind the Persona series, or just talking about tactics. They really get really deep into it. And I found a common thread with many players that they played these games in troubled times, whether it's everyday stresses, divorces, deaths in the family, hard times. There seems to be that common thread that joins everybody together in playing these games. Now, that doesn't mean the games are dark, all the games are dark or depressing or anything like that. Actually, quite the opposite. Most of the music in these games is quite energetic, cheerful, nice and jazzy for the Persona games, a little bit different for the mainline series. But they're all positive experiences as far as, I've had so far. My first experience with Soul Hackers, and that was an amazing game, and I still haven't finished it. And it's a game that I don't want to finish. I don't want that first love to be over. And I found that the same case with other people. I know I've talked to a lot of people where they've played a lot of the games and I haven't finished all of them except for maybe one or two. But they enjoy the experience of playing. Sometimes I'll turn on, for example, this game, and just let it on, just leave it on my PS3, because I play it on the PS3. I have a backwards compatible one, and just listen to the music. And I have the soundtrack. I don't know why I just don't put on the CD. I just like the yellow. It relaxes me. I like the color theme. This is actually, I think, the second game that I played in the series. But the other thing that I do, and I don't know if it happens to you guys, maybe because I'm a meme fan. I love looking at memes and reading memes on my break at work and what have you. And sometimes I look at the pictures and I come up with my own memes. And if you're a member of, for example, the Shin Megami Tensei Network group on Facebook, or Shin Megami Tensei on Facebook, maybe you've seen them. I post them there once in a while, or I post them on my Twitter at GenX_gamer. You can look me up. Also on Facebook, I'm on GenX Gamer. I think the page, it's Ozzy2005 if you want to look me up. I post a lot of stuff there. I post a lot of my memes that I make, all of us, what I call memes. But it's just something I do to relax, man. I was having quite a stressful day yesterday. And that's when I started getting the idea for sharing these thoughts, and just, not knowing if anybody else plays these old games, because a lot of times when I talk to people, they say, oh, I remember, that game from X year. It could be, a lot of years ago, 10 years ago, what have you, 6 years ago. But I'm barely, discovering these series as of 3 years, and in that short period of time, it's become my sweet obsession in many ways. I have a large video game collection, but I have to say one of my favorite parts of my collection is this series. And it's crazy how fervent the fan base of the series is, specifically mainline. Persona is, it's not that, how would I say, it's not that people are not loyal, but it's just they haven't suffered. To be a MEGATEN fan is to know suffering and enjoy it. Not only because of the dungeon crawling, but because you have to wait so long between titles. Between Shin Megami Tensei 3 and 4, it was 10 years. Between Nocturne and Shin Megami Tensei 4, it was 10 years. And it's always taken time. And now we're waiting for 5. Oh man, and what a sweet torture it is. I have great faith that game is going to be amazing and everything we hope for. And it's going to be a huge seller. I know I'm going to support it. Whatever the top package is, whatever the collector's, Buku Bucks edition is, it's what I'm going to get. I'm not even going to front. I'm not going to lie. But I wanted to create this space just to talk about my experiences with the games. I think everything that's, as far as the stories and the lore of the games and information, regarding any particular title, it's all out there, and it's been done and overdone and redone many, many times by people more talented than I. But I think that the experiences that we all have with these games is unique. It's unique to every individual depending on what they're going through at the time, right? And here on YouTube, everybody that plays games is always having an amazing time, right? That could be a thing, right? That could be a theme. But the truth is, a lot of time we play games because we're troubled. A lot of times we play games because we're not having such a great time, because we need to reflect, because we need to think, because we need to meditate. We need to just cool off before making rash decisions. And dungeon crawling teaches you patience, Waiting for a new Shin Megami Tensei title teaches you patience. And with patience, you can get through most things. Alright, humans, that was our first episode of reflecting and looking back. It's MEGATEN Mondays with ATLUS and Shin Megami Tensei. We'll be talking about ATLUS and Shin Megami Tensei game experiences here, and we'll focus on not only ATLUS, but a lot of the older titles of the series. Alright guys, thank you for joining me. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.
Thank you for joining me on another episode of the Gen X Gamer. Remember to like and subscribe, click the notification bell, and remember, never be afraid to be happy. We'll catch you on the next one. Take care.